Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Shibaz here. So in today video, we will learn how to check the normality of data visually using histogram in R. A histogram displays the distribution of numerical data by dividing observations into intervals called bins. So it helps us examine the overall shape of the distribution and identify skewness, unusual peaks, gaps, and possible outliers. So unlike the Spiro-Wilk and Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, a histogram doesn't provide a test statistic, p-value, or fixed numerical threshold. Its interpretation is based on the visual shape of the distribution. So you can also see my videos on Spiro-Wilk and Kolmogorov-Smirnov test to check the normality of the data in R. So a variable can be considered normal distributed when its histogram has the following characteristics. The distribution is bell-shaped. It has one main peak near the center. The left and right sides are reasonably symmetrical. Most observations are concentrated around the center. The frequencies gradually decrease toward both tails. There are no major gaps, extreme outliers, or additional peaks. So when a normal distribution curve is added, the bars approximately follow that curve. The histogram doesn't need to form a perfect bell shape. Minor irregularities are common, particularly with small samples. Therefore, we should look for approximate normality rather than perfect normality. So now we check the normality of the data by using the histogram chart. So we have uploaded the data here as SPSS format, and you can see the data here. We have one demographic and other measurement scales of constraints. So our variables are in indicators, observed indicators. So we need to compute the variables first, then we can make histograms in R. So I just suggested R to make the coding for histogram chart in R. So ChatGPT gave us the coding to compute the variable first, then it will perform the coding for histogram. So first we will copy. So one thing we should remember that if your variables are in computed format, so then you don't need to compute the variables. So we are taking mean of the scale into our overall variable. So we will copy the code and paste in console and then press enter. So in this way, R has successfully computed the variables, and we have the variables computed with green employment involvement, green compensation and reward, green for performance and management, green training and development, green rational sport, ethical leadership, psychological green capital, and green creativity. So we have computed the variables. So now we can make histogram in R. So we will go to ChatGPT, so where we can see the coding for histogram. So for histogram for R scale, we have 8 measurement scales which were calculated by R. So now we will copy the coding and then paste in console to create the histogram. So it depends on four: light blue, black. So it will use four colors. However, you can change the color. Okay, so now we have put the coding here, then press enter. So you will see the results here, like histogram of green employee involvement, green compensation and reward, green performance and function. So we successfully get the results of histogramming. So in this way we will check the normality of the data. So you can see here the histogram show that most observations for green employee involvement, green compensation reward, and all other variables are concentrated at the higher end of the scales. You can see higher end of the scales. So mainly between, you can see 4.4 to 4.8. So this is the end of each line. So all these variables have longer tails, you can see. Longer tails toward the lower values. So indicating negative and left skewed distributions. So therefore, they don't demonstrate perfectly symmetrical bell-shaped distribution. If we see green imply involvement and green relational spot, this one appear comparatively closer to normality, although they still show some negative skewness. GCR, GPM, GTD, EL ethical leadership, and PGC display more noticeable negative skewness. The histogram for green creativity is irregular and contains separated fields. You can see. So it doesn't show a clear bell-shaped pattern and appears to depart from normal. Overall, if we say that visual inspection suggests that the variables are not normally distributed. So in this way, we can check the normality of data in R using histogram. So you can also see my next video on QT plot and skewness and kurtosis values in R. Thank you.